Hola Mamis and Papis, it's Yawnie, your DJ and Dance Junkie with today's dose of dime. Oh my gosh, it is a full moon on Friday. How do you feel about that? I don't know, what is the full moon? I mean, is it something that you guys look forward to? Do you care? Do people go crazy in your family when this happens? I don't know. I have my own things that I love to do on Fridays because Fridays are always a wonderful day for me, especially when I get to talk to you guys. So welcome to the Bachelor News Radio Network, and you got me, Yawnie, your DJ and Dance Junkie, with today's dose of dime. And I want to remind you guys that you can call in at any time to one if people want to hear the show, because I know I got some Facebook fans on there. Hi guys, watching right now, and I also have people that are listening online. But you can call in at 646-929-0130, and you can leave a message or a comment or hit the chat boards and leave me a question if you need to, or anything else that you guys got going on. So do this. I do have a Facebook group that we kind of play around with a bunch of questions and talk about different relationship issues and different, ways to kind of reevaluate what's going on in your life. And I call it the Dose of the Dime Facebook group, and it is a public group, guys. You can find it right now. Get on there and hit subscribe, or hit, I think it's join. So hit join and come in and have fun with us. So okay. So what we do is we talk about it, we talk about the different topics, and then of course, we get into some healing stuff, we talk about different issues. We don't allow infighting, of course, but that's kind of it's a good way for us to get out and talk about things that are affecting us in relationships and in our community. Hey, TND, love you, see you there, girl. Alright, so last week's show, we talked about toxic people. And let me tell you, it was an interesting show. We had a lot of call-ins. It was pretty good. I had a lot of questions. It's because toxic family is one thing, toxic people are another. And so I hope you had everything answered that you needed to, because we talked about what to look for, what the red flags are when you're dealing with toxic people, especially in your workplace. Especially in your relationship, but definitely in your workplace. Because if you're dealing with a toxic person in your workplace, you always want to see CYOA, and if you don't know what that is, you better Google it. Alright, so today's topic is narcissism and narcissistic people, okay? So where did this thing begin? It actually began, it's like Greek mythology. There was this guy, Narcissus. He was on this path, this mission, and he stopped by a pool of water, and he looked at it, and he saw himself. And it was so lovely. And he fell in love with his image. So what happened was he ended up falling in love with his image, and he stopped doing everything he didn't eat, he didn't continue his mission. He just stayed there and looked at himself. And so he died, right? Okay, so that's where the term narcissistic comes from, all right? The actual definition is an excessive interest in or an admiration for oneself. So it's a misconception. We are using it like a $10 word. Oh, you're just a narcissist. I think my kid called me a narcissist. I was like, really? Let's talk about the definition of a narcissist. Because little bits of narcissism is actually a good thing. It's not, okay, let's say this in a way. The self-love aspect of narcissism is a decent thing. If you have little bits of self-love, pride, the way that you present yourself, the way that you handle yourself, the way that you put yourself first, those things are good things. That's kind of a healthy thing to have. It's when it becomes a problem, when you're using people, that's narcissistic behavior. That's when you want to definitely start looking, okay, I feel a little used. I feel a little triggered. That's when you want to start looking at your partner and say, hey, what's going on, yo? Okay, hey, Laura, I see you, girl. Okay, so listen. On the dealing with narcissists, we refer to narcissists in a really haphazard way, because honestly, narcissism actually is a person suffering from narcissistic personality disorder. That is a diagnosable, treatable problem, okay? So that's why therapists, including myself, get really turned off when people are, yeah, he's just a narcissist. Do you know what a narcissist is? There are like 8 criteria that you need to diagnose a narcissist. 8 criteria that you can look from, 5 of it that you need to diagnose it. So what I want you to do today is understanding that one, in a personality disorder, it's kind of weird because they don't know that they have it. That's their personality. They feel like it's normal, just like breathing, just like I'm gonna go get groceries and eat. They don't understand that this is going on. It's just something that it's who they are. It's their personality. So with the nature of narcissistic personality disorder, people who have this, they have an inflated ego. Like, I was born to be a star. Like, more so than people with confidence. It's a little different, okay? So they are the people that are probably not going to be seeking help. So that's the one thing. Of the people in the United States that are diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, first of all, it's only like 200,000 a year. And of those people, and that's like a roughly 0.5 of the United States population, okay? It's just, it's a personality disorder. They don't know that they're doing this garbage until somebody points it out. And unfortunately, with the nature of narcissistic personality disorder, even when you point it out, that's when it becomes a huge problem, because the nature of their personality disorder is, I'm the best. What do you mean? I don't have a problem. You have the problem. That's why it's hard to diagnose, because the people won't come in. And then, of course, it's hard to diagnose because they feel like, I'm the best. What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with me. All right, so do know this. I have been told that, I tend to cater to women, and I am an advocate for women. I'm also an advocate for Black Lives Matter. I'm an advocate for the LGBTQ Alphabet Mafia Squad. So I do understand that sometimes I probably do speak in a way that caters to women, but do not come at me. Do understand that of those 0.5% of those U.S. population cases, 75% of them are men. We ain't gonna talk about it. We ain't gonna say, don't come at me. I'm just saying, of those, that's 150, of those 200,000, 150,000 of them are men. I didn't make the math. Just saying that out loud. Okay, so the goal of this show is not necessarily for you to diagnose anybody. Hey, Ricky, what's up? Don't diagnose anybody. Do not go and say, hey, the dime said that you have personality disorder. Do not do that. Do not come at me, first of all. Don't tell your boo that. I didn't say anything. I don't even know you. Okay? So I'm saying this to say, for you, these are warning signs that you need in order to look out for and protect yourself. Okay? So before we get into the warning signs, I did want to take a moment to pay the man and let you guys know that I am on the Bachelor News Radio Network, and let me tell you, it is a wonderful place to be. Let me tell you some things that they got going on. First of all, they have Feature Album Friday, so that's today. Every Friday, they're going to feature an artist, and they're going to go in on their, on their whole discography. And this is actually today from, if you're in the Central Standard Time, it is 6:30 p.m. If you're in Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be 5:30 p.m. And it's a whole 30-minute segment just dedicated to one artist. And today, they're doing Stephanie Mills. Now, Stephanie Mills was part of my growing up. Like, I feel good all up. Y'all didn't hear me sing. Y'all didn't come to me and sing. That's what it is. That's sad. I'm sorry. Alright, so yeah, Stephanie Mills is the woman today. And let me tell you, Sister Girl is tiny and got a powerful voice. You want to tune in, you want to hear this, okay? You can find this on thebachelornews.airtime.pro. That's The Bachelor, which BATCHELOR news.airtime.pro. The other thing I want to make sure you guys know, I am not going to sing for you guys. It's so awful. It was so bad. Alright, that weeknights, every weeknight but Saturday from 8 p.m. to midnight, they have a new segment. Whew. Whisper softly. It's nothing but love songs. I love it. I love love songs, especially the sexy ones. So yeah, definitely tune in for that. Again, weeknights every day but Saturday, 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope you guys tune in and get some of that love, especially at night. Put it on, do your chores, get cleaned up, and then get cleaned up. Okay, we're gonna talk about that later. All right. So, what to look for when you are dealing with people in your life? And you want to make sure that you got a good, decent person, okay? Now, understand, when we talk about diagnosing, and again, this is not for you to diagnose anybody. Do not come for anybody say, you know what, you look like you got, no, don't do that. There are people, those of us that went to tons of school to diagnose people, and even we sometimes don't want to diagnose people. So do understand that it is not one of these things. It is this thing, plus this thing, plus this thing, plus this thing. That makes them narcissistic. Now, the goal of today, again, is to make sure that you feel comfortable with the person that you love. And at the end of the day, if you love this person, love is a very fickle thing. I will say that the goal of relationships is for you two to be happy and build together. But if you're having problems building with somebody that because of, you know, what's going on with them, then maybe it's time to kind of pump the brakes, right? So let's talk about some things when you're getting into a relationship, because the goal is to see them before you fall in love. Communication. You want to watch how they communicate. Narcissists can fake it for only so long. The nature of their personality disorder, they cannot fake it for very long. Eventually they're going to come for you. So what do I mean by that? The number one thing that you want to understand about narcissists is everything is geared towards them being successful, or everything is geared towards them being in control. Okay, so meaning that everybody always sees the best in them. Everybody, you know, sees, yeah, they are the best, because they feel like they're the best, and so you should feel like they're the best. Okay, so they'll brag, they'll boast. I had this one guy, okay, I was on the phone with this one guy who was chopping it up, and I had these earbuds in, right? And so we're chopping it up, my earbud goes dead. Like, I have to switch it all up. It took me 2 minutes, I promise, to find the case, put it back in the case, switch the phone back to thinking I thought I had lost him. No, he was still talking. He was still talking. Had not missed a beat. Did not know that I wasn't even on the phone call. It had been 2 minutes. I'm just putting that out there. They don't like to be corrected. So if you're saying something, or they say something, you know it doesn't sound right. Wait a minute, don't you mean da 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 da? That they're gonna respond to that, and they're gonna respond pretty ugly. Okay, and what I mean by ugly is, first starting out, of course, you're gonna always get their representative. So you want to make sure that you dig into the conversation. And when they don't like what you're saying, they're going to deflect, which means they're gonna put it on you. They're gonna divert, which means they'll change the subject, or they're going to evade, meaning they're going to just talk about something that makes absolutely no sense, just to get you off of the subject. Okay, they do this kind of to not answer direct questions. They do this kind of to they don't want to be caught in a lie ever, so they're going to, again, deflect, divert, evade. All right, so okay, I'll tell you a surefire way to kind of figure out whether or not you have a narcissist. Pick a couple of times to say, if they ask for something, to say, no, I gotta do something. Oh, can we go out to eat tonight? Yeah, no, I can't do it tonight. Watch them try to persuade you to come in. Watch them try to wiggle their way into your life. Watch if they don't get what they want. Watch them throw a fit. Or watch them ghost you. Because remember, the goal of the goal of narcissism is because they want someone that's good for them. Okay, that's going to help them in some way. Okay, they are pushy in their conversation. So if you tell them no, they're going to try to push their way to make you say yes. Okay, they presume to know what's best for you. Like, they don't even know you. Like, they just met you, maybe have a few morsels of information about you, and they already decided what it is that you should do with your life. And sometimes, you know, it kind of says, oh, he thinks I could do that. No. You know what's best for your life. And that's part of the reason why narcissists unfortunately end up dealing with people who are people pleasers and who are indecisive, because they crave that structure. And narcissists are happy to provide it. Trust. They need your attention. So you're having a conversation with the narcissist, and you start talking about you. Maybe it's something positive that you had going on. Maybe it's something that, you know, ended up happening. And you'll notice that they'll lose interest, or they'll play with the phone, or they'll switch the conversation. Your good things are not as good things. They will, what do we call it? Sassy, sweet, compliment you. Oh, that's great. I when I was starting out, I did that too. So it's a compliment, but it's not. Okay? So you want to be on the lookout for that. Your accomplishments mean absolutely nothing to them. They want you to praise them. Okay? And they'll trick you into it. So we got to keep moving because it's a lot of information. Alright, so, okay, so say they're going to invalidate and define who you are. So what does that mean? So for instance, say, and unfortunately this is how I got into sushi, we're not going to talk about it, but say you like, I don't like sushi. And the narcissist is like, oh sure, you like sushi. You just haven't been to the right restaurant. No, I really don't like sushi. The idea of eating raw fish is kind of No, you'll like it. Watch, when I take you to this place, you'll love it. I promise. Okay, I really don't, I think, I don't want to go because the idea of eating raw fish is yuck to me. And then the guy was like, well, no, for real, I'll take you and we'll go and you'll change your mind. You just haven't had the right. They're pushy. And they tell, first of all, he said, oh, you like sushi. I've already told him I didn't. I'm hooked on sushi, by the way. We're not going to talk about that. But I already told him I did it, so he invalidated the fact that I said no. Then he went on to rationalize why it was that I disagreed with him. And it was, oh, well, you've not had it at the right place. Now, don't understand, this by itself does not make a person a narcissist, so do not go for somebody that kind of does this. We all kind of do this when we want somebody to enjoy the things that we like. It does not make them a narcissist. But this is a red flag for someone who might be a narcissist. So I do need you to understand the difference, okay? All right, so let's move forward. If you have questions about the communication aspect, I really would like to hear it, okay? They are grandiose in their self-image. Like, they felt like they were born with a crown on their head. They feel like they deserve special treatment. And when they don't get special treatment, you will hear about it. Or you will hear about who they told off about it. And I don't mean fair, human, just treatment. I'm talking about, well, they didn't do this for me. Why didn't they do this for me? They did it for them. They believe that they deserve the best treatment, that they are the epitome of fineness and quality and royalty, and all of this should come to me. Yeah, it's a thing, okay? So they believe that they are always the MVP. They always believe they have the best job and they're doing the best job, and I don't understand why I have to come in for a evaluation. I'm the best. Just give me my 4 points and give me my raise. They believe that they're the best, okay? And when things are going wonderful, it's all because of them. It's because of them that things are going wonderful. It's when it's not going wonderful, they're going to start blaming people. And guess where they're going to go? They're going to blame people, they're going to blame things, and then eventually they're going to blame you. They buy nothing but expensive labels. They show them off. They rent cars that they sometimes cannot afford. These types of things. They believe that they are royalty, and that I don't understand why I was born in this poor woman's body. That's my fantasy. We're not going to talk about that. Okay, anyway. So they also have unrealistic expectations about things. Like, they romanticize a lot about dates and occurrences, and if it does not meet their standards, they're upset about it. Okay? Rules and boundaries. No such thing. First of all, we already talked about the fact that they cannot handle the answer no. If you really, really want to know if you have a narcissist on your hands, find something simple to just say no to and watch them try to push their way through. Not convinced? Try it again. If you honestly really think you have a narcissist on your hands, and if you do, they're going to eventually throw a fit or leave you alone. Because no, they cannot handle it. They believe that they should get everything that they want. I mean, it's all... Honestly, I mean, if they were positive in nature, they would be the perfect manifestors, but they go about it in such an ugly way that they can't manifest anything but negativity. But we ain't going to talk about that. Anyway, so they don't like waiting in lines. They do not like abiding by the rules. They believe they're better than others. So this rule doesn't apply to me. They're the ones that are always speeding. always speedy. They're the ones that don't like waiting in line. They'll cut, and it's not even a thing. And they have an all or nothing mentality. So meaning that you're either with me or you're against me. There is no middle ground. There is no compromise. This is what I want. This is the way I want it, and this is what I want to get it. And if you don't give it to me, then obviously you don't like me. You don't love me. I thought that you loved me. So why wouldn't you get this for me? They break rules, push boundaries very quickly. Okay? So we're going to talk about that later when it gets into love bombing. They love bomb. And that's one of those ways that they push those boundaries. They start saying, I love you, calling you baby within the first week, month. And I'm not just, again, I go back to, I know I talk in a certain way, but when I'm talking about it, I really am talking about men and women, because there are some women narcissistic. Man, let me tell you. So do not feel like any kind of way that this is just for women. Men have encountered men who are narcissists. Men have encountered women that are narcissists, and let me tell you, it is an ordeal, because here's the next piece of it. They are all into manipulation, passive aggressive behavior, like the silent treatment. They'll infantilize you, like, oh sweetheart, you just don't know yet, that because you may have a lack of knowledge on a subject, or even a lack of life experience on a subject. Oh, well, let me tell you how it works. Yeah, they infantilize. That's also a form of manipulation, trying to kind of, what is the word? I can't remember. But they're trying to mold you into what it is that they want you to be. They'll rationalize their behavior. If you didn't feel like something was like, they will rationalize and understand. When I say rationalize, I mean lie, to make themselves the better person. Okay. One of the number one things that people will remember about narcissists is that they vilify. And what does that mean? So say they did something wrong, and say you called it on and say, hey, just what did you do? And they will use they will turn it around so that it looks like you were the person that did it, and then they'll gaslight you about it. So what does that mean? They'll change stories, change facts, create lies, make you the villain. They vilify you. And then when you get upset and angry about it, they'll say, see, you're uncontrollable. You're crazy. I don't even know why I mess with you. Nobody else is going to want you. Why are you're always going off on somebody. This isn't love. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. They vilify you. This is one of the things that our narcissists are known for. Okay? And they don't care who they manipulate, by the way. Parent, sister, brother, uncle, cousin, you, your mate, whatever. It doesn't matter. So why is that? They have a lack of empathy. Okay, so some research is saying lack of empathy. So let's talk about that. Empathy is the ability to understand what somebody else is feeling. So if I walk across a kid, they got a blood on their knee and they're crying, I know, oh my God, that baby hurt herself. So I comfort that child. That's empathy for this child. I'm not feeling her pain. That's sympathy. But I do understand what it feels like to bust your knee. So I give her empathy. Narcissists don't have that. And some research is actually saying that they do, but they're unwilling to get it because it is a flaw. They have to self-protect. And that's fine. But they don't understand what it is that they're doing and how it is that they feel and why it is that you react the way that you do. But they will use all of that against you. So that's why. I guess so. I can't 100% say that's why, but that is a reason towards why it is that narcissists are able to do these things in a manner that makes you like, I don't even know what happened. I'm crazy. I love this person and they're just treating me ugly. And you would think that's somebody that loves you, but not, right? Okay. That's that empathy that they're lacking. So with all of these negative things that I'm talking about, why is it that so many people feel like they're with narcissists? Ooh, these MFers are charming. Most of them are very into their body, athletic. They are working out at the gym. They are buying designer lines. They look good and they're sweet. And they pick up on subtle conversation cues. So love bombing is one of the tactics that we talked about. We talked about it a couple of episodes ago when we talked about red flags. love bombing, let's talk about it. I got about 5 minutes, so let's work this out. So love bombing is, okay, so say you have a favorite teacher. You go in and this teacher gives you stickers. They put you at the chalkboard, you answer questions, and they always say, oh my God, you're so awesome, you're so wonderful. And it's almost like you are the best in the class. And you're like, yes, I love my teaching. You like going to school. And every week it's like this for like 3 months. And every day you get stickers, you get rulers, you get candy. You're at the front of the class. They're making it seem like you are the best. And then one day you come to school and they're totally shut off. And so you try to get in their face, hey, and they ignore you. That's love bombing. So what it is they pour on the affection, they pour on the charm, they pour on everything that they have managed to find out about you, which is another thing, guys. Keep your Facebook profile private. They utilize the information that they have managed to get a hold of. They feign, and I mean fake, being interested in the things that you are interested in order to get next to you. Okay, so do they do this on purpose? Yes, but their reasoning is a little different. You feel like you're special because they pour all this attention on you, and they feel like you're special. But that's the thing. Remember what I said? Narcissists want people that can better them. They think you're special too, and they feel like if they have you, they also are special. So it's again you being used for their means. Okay, and when they're done with you, they'll drop. Now, if they wanted to continue to play with you, they'll do what they call breadcrumbing. So like if you gave somebody $100 every week and then all of a sudden you gave them nothing, and then they come back, well, what happened to my $100? I want my $100. And then they're like, okay, I'll give you 25. And you're happy to get this 25 because you haven't had much in a while. That's breadcrumbing. So every now and again they'll give you a very little bit of what it was that they gave you in the beginning. But because you were so smitten, I mean, this is where the soulmate fallacy comes in, because people believe they've met their soulmate, because the narcissist is very good at mimicking everything that they need and very good at listening and deciphering what it is that you want until they don't want you anymore. And then that's where it becomes a problem. Okay? So if it does feel like it's too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. If they are rushing the relationship again and they're pushy about it, then definitely slow it down, because it feels like the honeymoon phase, but it is too good. People fight. People get into it, especially when the representative leaves. If you've not gotten into it with your mate, your representative is still in charge, because people are different. Growth is hard. All of this is supposed to be a challenge because you're supposed to work together to get it done. I mean, so it's a whole thing, right? Alright, so I'm running out of time, my love. So obviously there's going to be a part 2. We're going to talk about it because this was the overt narcissist. There's a covert. And the difference is one is extroverted, one is introverted. So it's not going to look the same. I hope you tune in for that. So I am Yawnie, your DJ and Dance Junkie, with today's dose of dime, and I do want to once again thank the Bachelor News Radio Network. And anytime that you guys want to tune in and check out any of the other shows, you can do so at 646-929-0130, or you can hit it up on the website. Also, please join me in the Facebook group, A Dose of Dime. And also, I want to remind you that we're doing Feature Album Friday, Stephanie Mills. That's going to be at 5:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, and I hope you turn in to Whisper Softly Love Songs on the Bachelor News Radio Network. Have a good one.